Hi guys, can you see me? Can you hear me? Hi guys, can you see me? Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Hi Mohammed, hi Harshit Pathak. I'm so sorry. I was just figuring out a few things. I hope I'm not very late. Hello, you guys. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Yes, just give me all the confirmation that is required. Hello, hi guys. Welcome to the session. Yes. So hi everybody, welcome. I am Bhavana Bisht. This is me live, and today we are doing the chapter how do organisms reproduce. That is right. And are we going to do the entire chapter? The answer is no. We'll be only looking at a very small topic of it, and that is asexual reproduction. Okay. So this is a little information about me. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Can see me? Hi Brianshi, hi Yadav, hello. Hi Kushi, hello. Welcome to the session. Hi Thompson Gamer Dover, hello. Welcome to the session. Hi guys, thank you so much for coming in. Hi Kavita. Okay, yes. Now let's begin with the session, shall we? I hope now it is not doing anything. Yes. So, hi everybody, I am Bhavana Bisht. I teach science, statistics, chemistry, and biology. And I have a code that is VB Live 10 that gives you a 10% discount. Also, you can connect with me on a Telegram channel. That's correct. And it is there on the screen right here. Yes. And just put it there. Also, you can watch my special classes that happen at 7 p.m. every day, where you can real time interact with me using chats and emojis, ask questions with the question tab, and I will solve your doubts. Along with that, we have live poll options for quizzes, leaderboards, and you can also compete with your friends because we have leaderboards on the name displayed on the screen, as you can see right here. Yes. So, other than that information, let's begin with asexual reproduction, shall we? Yes, hi Thompson. No, today we will not have any mentee. Today we are just understanding the concept of asexual reproduction, okay? Yes. Okay, so what are the things that we'll be covering in asexual reproduction? We'll be undergoing fission, fragmentation, regeneration, budding, spore formation, vegetative propagation, and artificial methods. Okay, so we'll be going through all of these. Yes, so are you ready for it? Yes. Okay, so when we talk about reproduction, okay, and like before this, we had an entire chapter dedicated, right? And where we studied all the important life processes that there are, from like eating, that is nutrition, to digesting it, to transporting it, to removing it out of your body, right? We talked about all of it, but why not about reproduction? Why did we not do it in the chapter life processes? Yes. So, well, there is a very well logic for that, and that is that all of those were very essential for us to live, for us to continue our life, right? Whereas, what is the significance of reproduction? Do you think we require to reproduce so as we continue to live, we do not die? What do you think? Okay, Harshad, we will solve your doubts. Do not worry about that. So, what do you think is the reproduction? What is the significance of reproduction? Yes, waiting for it. Okay, so when we talk about reproduction, it is necessary for the continuation of the species, right? It is necessary for the continuation of the species. Now imagine we as human beings are not there at all. Will that be a good sight? I don't think so, right? So, and were we the only type of humans that were already present for a very, very long period of time? The answer is no, right? We have seen that there were Neanderthal man, there were different types of humans, but different species living. But now we are only Homo sapiens sapiens which are alive. And why is that? Because we were able to adapt, right? We were able to put in the variations, yes? And all of these amazing things we'll be understanding in this chapter of how do organisms reproduce. Clear? So when we talk about reproduction is defined as producing offspring. Yes, when we say offspring, what is the meaning of offspring? Offspring means a kid, a child into the world. Yes, and it carries the characteristic of a parent. Yes, in the sense, we as human beings, we as animals have gametes, right? And when they fuse, that give rise to a zygote which has both the characters of the parents, right? And therefore the offspring has the characteristic of the parents, right? Now how did our information go into the child? Yes, and there's a very, very, very scientific thing behind it, and that is called as DNA, right? For a very long period of time we were not even aware that there is something called as DNA. Yes, like sorry, we know that there was Mendel, right? And he worked on peas, and he did F1 generation, F2 generation, and he saw that characters are going from one generation to another. But he could never figure out what is this that is making these characters go from one to another. And he termed them as factors. Yes. So, creating a copy of a DNA using chemical reactions is the main event of reproduction. Okay. So while making copies, like DNA is duplicating, DNA is replicating, and while it is doing so, for example, you're looking at a picture, okay, and you try to draw the same exact picture in your notebook. Do you think it is going to be 100% the same? मतलब एकदम डिक्टो कॉपी आएगा उसका? नहीं आएगा. Yes. Why? Because you're copying, you're just looking at the picture and you're trying to imitate it, right? Over here also DNA is trying to duplicate itself, right? Although it is a very, very foolproof mechanism, मतलब एकदम गलती से भी गलती होती होगी वहाँ पे, but sometimes हो जाती है, and this gives rise to variations, and these variations help in the survival of species. Is that clear? Okay. The variations help species to adapt to changes in the niches or the environmental conditions, and that is how we survive through the most horrific conditions as well. Clear? So when we talk about reproduction, we have specifically we have two types of reproduction. Yes. The very first one is called as the asexual reproduction, and the second is sexual reproduction. Yes. We'll be covering both. We'll be covering asexual reproduction, we'll be covering sexual reproduction. You don't have to worry about it. Yes. Now, when we talk about asexual reproduction, let's understand what does that mean. Okay, when we talk about asexual reproduction, like how many of you have had chewing gum? Yes, yes, and then you take your bubble gum, you try to make a balloon out of it. Yes, but don't you think the chewing gum can easily be broken down to two chewing gums as well, right? Yes. Similarly, I over here I have something in my hand. Can you see this? Can you see something? Yes. Now this is a tissue paper, right? Now imagine this is an organism. Yes, and this is what is going to be doing asexual reproduction. Okay, so how exactly do they go about doing the asexual reproduction? Okay, so first this organism will duplicate everything that is there inside it. Okay, in the sense, like imagine if you want to move out of your house, right? So you will take a gas with you, you'll take a fridge with you, you'll take a cupboard with you, you'll take your clothes with you. But if you take all of them, then घर पे क्या बचेगा? कुछ भी नहीं, right? So you have to buy all of these one more set, right? तभी आप उसको equally divide कर पाओगे. Similarly, so over here the organism जो इतना सा है वो भी अपने आप को पूरी तरीके से डुप्लीकेट करेगा. Yes. And वो डुप्लीकेट होने के बाद everything is created in twos and then it will get divided, leading to the formation of two individuals, two identical individuals, right? You see any difference? Do you see any difference between this and the parent that we had? The answer is no, right? So this is exactly how asexual reproduction also works. So the production of a new organism by a single parent. How many parents? By a single parent is called as asexual reproduction. How single parent? See, remember we had only this one tissue, right? And इसने ही अपने आप को दो भाग में divide किया to give rise to two organisms, right? So this one single organism is called as the mother cell. What is it called as? It is called as the mother cell. So mother cell divides herself. Yes. जब वो खुद को divide करेंगी, so how many how many offsprings will we get? So we are going to get two offsprings. Clear? Now, do you see any male or any female organism or individual being involved over here? Do we see male gamete? Do we see female gamete? The answer is no, right? There's just one mother cell. So यहाँ पे क्या कोई gametes है? क्या कोई sex cell involved है? And the answer is no. Yes. Now, generally, asexual type of reproduction is seen in unicellular organisms, bacteria, yes, and simple multicellular organisms. In the sense, like imagine like all the primitive organisms, yes, जो ना दुनिया में बहुत पहले ही develop हो गए, they undergo asexual reproduction. Okay, they did not evolve their method of reproduction. Yes, so that becomes asexual reproduction. Clear? So if you understand, just let me know. Okay. Now, when we talk about asexual reproduction, we have a variety of types, as you can see. So asexual reproduction in itself is divided into two parts. Okay. So we have natural methods and we have artificial methods. Okay. So now let's talk about natural methods. So when we talk about fission, fission also we have two types: binary fission, multiple fission. Then we have fragmentation. Then we have regeneration, budding, spore formation. Yes, and vegetative propagation. Now in artificial methods we have cutting, layering and grafting. Now what is the difference between natural and artificial? Natural means it happens on its own, it is there in nature. Yes, whereas when we talk about artificial methods, it means the methods that are made by the man. Yes, so those come under man-made. Vegetative propagation, you see, we have not created potatoes to have eyes who are going to become a new organism, new individual. We have not done that. It is already there in nature, so it's a part of natural. Clear? Yes, very nice. So let's begin with the very first, and that is a binary fission. Yes. Now, whenever we talk about the term bi, yes, like we already know, like whenever we have to, let's say I have just one bottle, or there's only one oxygen atom that I have, right? So what would we refer to it as? We would call it as mono or uni, right? Only one celled organism. So that is called as unicellular organism. So that happens there. Similarly, if I have like two cells or I have like two water bottles, so what will be that be called as, right? or two atoms at that matter. So it is called as diatomic, remember? So it's either di or we move on to bi. Yes. Similarly, when you're talking about 3, we talk about tri. Whenever we're talking about 4, we talk about tetra. Right? So depending upon how many numbers we're talking about, we call them as binary, yes, or mono, or tri, or tetra. So mono stands for 1, bi stands for 2, tri stands for 3, and tetra stands for 4. Is that clear? So similarly, when I talk about binary fission, yes, what does that mean? Now, once you understand the meaning of the term bi, so we know bi over here means 2. Yes. Now let's understand the meaning of fission. Okay. So I think you all might have heard a similar sounding word, and that is called as a fusion. Yes, so like Indo-fusion, Indo-Chinese, Indo-American, Indo-West. What does all this mean? Indo-West fusion, Indo-American, Indo-Thai fusion. Like, what are we talking about? Yes. So it means that in the Indian culture, right? Yes. Over here we're talking about the fusion of two cultures, the fusion of two cuisines, right? In the sense something is coming together. Okay. Whereas the exact opposite of fusion is fission. Fission means a division. Fission means a separation. Is that clear? Yes. So over here, after separation, what am I getting? I'm getting two individuals. And this is what binary fission means. So after fission, after breaking away from each other, after separation, what are we getting? We are getting two individuals, and therefore it is called as the binary fission. Clear? So over here, can you tell me which organism you see on the screen? Which organism do you see on the screen, everybody? Yes, waiting. That's right. This is amoeba. Perfect. Yes. So you see how amoeba over here we have like this one cell. Now it has it has decided. Now I'm going to become the mother cell. I'm going to divide and I'm going to give rise to my amazing kids, right? So for that, what will it do? It will divide itself. So you see how the cytoplasm over here is cleaving. Yes, it is going inside the nucleus is also elongating and trying to make two, right? Trying to make two parts out of it. And over here, finally, the nucleus is divided, giving you two nuclei. The cytoplasm is still cleaving more inside. Yes, and finally, both of them have been divided. Yes, so you have the mother cell over here, and over here, the two newly formed cells are called as the daughter cells. What are they called as? These are called as the daughter cells. Clear? Okay, so you have the mother cell. So now, if the daughter cells are produced, do you think the mother cell is still alive? The answer is no. The mother cell has split herself. The mother cell has divided herself. So no, you're not going to get two cells. Okay. Now, when we talk about binary fission, the plane of division also matters. What is the meaning of plane of division? Okay. Now, it matters whether you have divided. Yes, whether you have divided it in which plane. Have you gone horizontally? Have you gone vertically? Have you gone radially? As you all know, amoeba does not have a fixed shape or a structure. Yes, so amoeba on any plane, when you divide amoeba on any plane, rather it be horizontal or vertical or radial, yes, it is always going to give you two equal halves. It is always going to give you two equal halves. Yes, so that is one of the major characteristics of binary fission. You should get equal halves, two equal halves, and over here the plane of division does not matter in amoeba. Why? Because amoeba already does not have a fixed shape or a structure, and therefore whenever divided it gives you two amazing equal halves. Yes. But whereas, does that happen in everybody's case? No. Over here you can see we have the organism called as euglena. Okay. Yes. Now look at the structure of euglena. Now imagine, would I have been able to divide euglena on the horizontal basis into two equal halves? Yes. Would I be able to divide euglena into two equal parts when would I have gone radial? Would I able to divide euglena if I'm going vertical? Yes. Yes, the answer is correct. Horizontally, it will not give me two equal parts. So I see one of them will only have the body, the other will have the nucleus, the flagella that is required. Yes. Whereas the other half of the body is not having that, is not receiving that. Yes. So therefore, I cannot go horizontal. Similarly, when I talk about going radial, yes, see, only half will receive only half of the nucleus, no flagella, nothing. So no, a bad deal. Yes. Whereas if I go vertical, you can see how the body is getting divided into two equal halves when it is being cut in the longitudinal section, the vertical section, right? And therefore over here I can say that the plane of division matters. Yes, remember, whenever I'm getting two individuals out of mother cell, that is binary fission. Yes, what is important? What is important, everybody? The plane of division. So in amoeba, it can be any. It can be either longitudinal, horizontal, radial, does not matter. But in cases like euglena, as you can clearly see, it has to be cut in the longitudinal section to get two individual equal halves. That is two daughter euglena. That is correct. Perfect. Yes. So that sums up our binary fission. Okay. Now let's move on to multiple fission. Now when we talk about multiple fission, what is it all about? Yes. So tell me, let me know in the chat section. Yes. Okay. Now when we talk about multiple fission, as the name suggests, again over here what is happening? We are breaking away. We're talking about splitting. Yes, but we're talking about multiple. Are we talking about two anymore? Are we talking about binary? The answer is no. We're talking about many. Yes. So now in some organisms, okay, as soon as they detect some unfavorable conditions going out in the environment, they decide, you know what? I better go inside, yes, and conserve my food, conserve my energy so that I am alive, yes. Like, for example, imagine yourself, as soon as everybody got to know about Corona, yes, everywhere there was a nationwide lockdown, and we all trapped ourselves inside our houses, right? Why? Because we wanted to conserve ourselves, because we wanted to save ourselves, we all wanted to be safe, right? Why? Because corona outside means there are unfavorable conditions outside, right? Now for us it was corona, but for other organisms it can be anything else also, right? Yes. So whenever any organism outside detects an unfavorable condition or condition which won't favor them, which would not allow them to flourish in that environment, is called as unfavorable condition. Yes. In these scenarios, amoeba, plasmodium, these organisms develop a huge thick wall around themselves. Okay, and this wall that they surround themselves with is called as the cyst wall. It creates a barrier between the outside environment and the contents of the cell. Okay, and then what happens? Then it is just like sitting, doing nothing, trying to conserve its energy. But inside, what is happening? Inside, as you can see, we have the nucleus. Now we have nuclei. We have multiple nucleus over here. So can I say they have been divided? Yes. And as soon as the outside conditions, as soon as the outside conditions come back to normal, which means now the conditions have returned To be favorable, the cyst wall will break. The cyst will break, and all the division, all the split nuclei cells will move out, and these are called as the daughter cells. Is that clear? Yes. So this is how we complete. Hi, Harmeet Kaur. Hello, welcome to the session. Yes. So this is a fission. So when we talk about fission, what exactly are we talking about? We're talking about splitting of cell into identical parts and forming new organisms, right? Now, how does that happen? In binary fission, an organism divides or splits into two equal halves, giving rise to binary fission, right? And sometimes it happens randomly, longitudinally, vertically, radially. It does not matter the orientation, the plane of division, but sometimes it has to be very, very specific. Like in case of euglena, you have to have the longitudinal fission, right? So that the organism divides into two equal halves. Clear? So that is the one part of fission, and the second is when the parent organism divides into many new organisms, it is called as multiple fission. Clear everybody? Yes. Ma'am, class 9 के लिए कब आएगा session? Hi Harmeet Kaur, hello. I do not teach 9th standard, unfortunately. I only teach 10th standard. Yes. Okay. So I hope fission is clear to everybody. Yes. Now let's move on to fragmentation. Now when we talk about fragmentation, what are we talking about? See how I have hairs? Yes, so obviously if I'm going to manage them, sometimes I won't be able to manage it very nicely, right? So you see in your house, you have these small pieces of hair lying around, or a big piece of hair lying around, right? So can I say that this hair, one piece of hair, will develop into a new hair just lying around? No, that is not going to happen. But it might not happen with us, but it happens with somebody on the screen. Can you recognize who is this? Yes, anybody? Everybody? Yes, that is none other than Spirogyra. That's right. Spirogyra has this nice filamentous body. Yes, like in rainy season, you might have seen we have puddles, we have water everywhere just lying around. Yes. So in there, if you see a nice silky algae-like structure, green-like structure, so that is none other than Spirogyra. Yes. So you decide to jump on the puddle, or a bike decides to go through, or a car decides to go through. So what is going to happen to these filaments? These filaments are going to get cut, right? These filaments might divide. Yes. And then are they going to die? The answer is no. These filaments will now grow into new individuals. Yes, so if I have this long filament and now it is getting divided into fragments. Yes, but these fragments, are they going to die outside the parent body? The answer is no. Each fragment right here will develop into a new individual. Yes, and therefore that is the example of fragmentation. Is that clear? Yes. Hi, Miss back. Hello. Hi, Pratham. Hello. Welcome to the session. I hope you guys are doing good. Yes. Clear? So you can look at this amazing GIF to understand it better. Although starfish shows both fragmentation and regeneration. So over here you can see one starfish getting divided. So how the fragment that was divided and developed into itself into a new organism. Over here one hand was like mistakenly cut off, so that now has become an entire organism. That's an example of regeneration. Yes. So let's quickly understand what exactly is fragmentation. So multicellular organism with simple bodies break into smaller pieces that regenerate into new organisms. Yes, and this process of natural asexual reproduction in mature organisms is called as fragmentation. Yes, this happens in plants like Hydra, Spirogyra, animals like sea anemone, which you see on the screen. This is the animal sea anemone. Yes. Let's move on to regeneration. Okay, so what is regeneration? Regeneration in all deals with organisms, okay, who are able to regenerate a body part or able to regenerate their body, okay. And this generally happens when they have accidentally lost a body part, or let's say in case of lizard, it was going and running away from the predator, but it was a very close on being caught. So it was it was like, okay, you know what, pooch, yes, Mary Pooch, I don't think I require you anymore. That might put my life in danger, and that is why they might shed it, or it might cut itself, or something might happen, right? And when that happens, is it painful? Oh, yes, it is. But does it grow back? The answer is yes, right? So when anything is accidentally cut off and it grows back, and that gives you the phenomenon of regeneration. Okay, and in most of the cases, it's all about a particular organ or a particular type of cell which causes regeneration. Okay, there are specialized cells present wherever regeneration happens, but that is not the case with planaria. Okay, planaria you cut into no matter how many ever small pieces. Yes, you will see that all of these pieces of planaria that you see on the screen will develop into an entire new organism, as you can see over here. Yes, so if I can get entire new whole organisms in planaria, that's right, there are specialized cells present everywhere or every cut I made. Yes, and therefore it has been an amazing topic for the scientists to work upon. Okay, this gif right here shows how after being cut the planaria looks like. Yes. Is this clear to everybody? Is this clear to everybody? Well, nice. So regeneration is a restoration. Restoration of what? Accidentally broken parts into new organisms, and it is termed as regeneration. The plant grows its broken part to become complete again, with the parts to grow with another individual. And regeneration is not a type of reproduction, as organisms do not willingly employ to this technique. Okay. Now let's move on to budding. Yes. So when we talk about budding, what exactly is there in budding? Yes. Now in budding, like how many of you have by mistakenly like taken your head and just hit the wall or another head, or if you might be fighting with your sibling or so. So what would happen here? So you would see this nice, amazing mountain-like structure growing on the top of your head. Yes, that. So imagine that is to be your bud. Okay. So now new face, new hands, new legs will come out of it. Do you think that's going to happen? Well, it might more not be the case in humans, but we do generally see it in Hydra. Yes. So over here, as you can see Hydra on the screen. So over here, you can see how we have the tube or the bud basically. Yes. Now earlier in the life cycle, the bud takes the nutrition from the parent hydra. Yes, then it grows and grows and grows, achieve a nice height and nutrition, and after that it is cut from the parent plant, because the parent plant now thinks it is ready to go out and live in the modern world and look after for itself. Okay, so that gives you an example of budding, and over here you can see how exactly it happens. It's a GIF. Yes, so you might have seen the tentacles and how the bud is growing out, and then sorry about this, guys. So sorry. The bud grows, given away from the parent, and then grows and becomes a new individual. Okay. Okay, so a small part of this, now this is how Hydra exactly looks like. It is microscopic in structure. In diagrams it might look like so mighty and Humpty and Dumpty, but in actuality it's not, it's microscopic. So the small part of our parent's body grows into a bud that breaks away and grows into a new organism. Okay, before breaking away it is already a new organism. So that is called as budding. Now what happens? In some organisms like Hydra, we see after the bud has developed much, it thinks it has achieved adulthood, it can live alone, it leaves the parent, yes, and then grows and into a new individual, right? But does that happen with everybody? Does everybody goes and attaches with their parent? The answer is no. In others like yeast and sponges, the buds remain attached to form a colony, and that is an example of budding. Clear? Let's move on to the next part, and the next part for today's session is spore formation. Yes, I think some of you might have already seen spores because as they are present on the beloved bear bread that we love. Yes, everybody's like bread, burger, pizza, sandwiches, right? So when we talk about spore formation, let's understand, the basic sorry, basic structure of a fungi. Yes, because these fungus release something that are called as spores. Okay, so over here first, like imagine a plant. Okay, how imagine we have these roots, right? Then we have the layer of soil. Beyond that, the stem grows and it gives rise to a tree. Yes. So over here also you can see that there is something which is forming the demarcation. Yes, this middle line itself. Okay, so above this you see these branches like structure, these branch like structures which are there, these branch like structures right here, these branch like structures right here are called as what? These are called as hyphae. Okay, then you can see below this line we have some root like structures, not roots but root like structure. We have root like structure, and these are called as zygoids. No, rhizoids. Just spelling. Okay, so root-like structures are called as rhizoids. Clear? Then we have these stem-like structures on which we have this amazing ball-like structure. At the top of it is called as an sporangium, yes, or a sporangiophore. And inside the sporangium or the sporangiophore, we have a innumerable number of pollens. Yes, and these pollens are going to then find a nice little home, hot and humid, and they're going to settle down there, create a new organism, give out their sperms, and do that all over again. Yes. So if you have seen a bread which has like gone bad, or you have even kept it 7 days after its date of expiry, so this is how it is going to look like. Generally, the kind of fungus that you have in your syllabus that comes on the bread is a rhizopus. As you can see how the rhizopus looks like. Yes, over top of it also you can see how there are sporangiums which are like catching in place sporangiophores. Yes. Yes, so if you guys are ready, just let me know. Okay, let's move on to spore formation. So spores are microscopic reproductive units that can germinate and produce new organisms, and some plants and fungi and bacteria produce asexually only through spore formation, and these spores burst out of the case and remain alone, remain airborne until and unless they find favorable conditions. Is that clear? Something is wrong with my throat, guys. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. Now let's move on to the next part, and the next part is a vegetative propagation. So what do we have in vegetative propagation? So in plants, okay, in plants, depending upon where a particular organ is present and what is the function of this organ, we have plants divided into two types. One who propagate with the help of vegetation, and one who just use all the natural methods, right? So over here, when you talk about a plant, yes, so we have the vegetative parts of the plant. So which is the reproductive part of the plant? Which is the reproductive part of the plant? The reproductive part of the plant is the nobody? Vegetative plant. So plants have vegetative and reproductive structures. Okay. Now we already know that plants generally produce flowers, which are their reproductive structures, right? So the vegetative part is everything leaving the reproductive part. So in reproductive part we have the androecium, we have the gynoecium, we have all of those amazing stuff. But in vegetative propagation we have everything that has nothing to do with reproduction, but you still see plants are there. For example, rose stem. For example, over here you can see how he's cutting down the potato. So putting it on a petri dish, putting it on some moisture, adding some water at it, and after a few days you will see that the potato plant has germinated out of the potatoes. Why? Yes, the shoot has germinated out. Why? Because potato on it has eyes. Yes, now if you keep the eye with some amount of potato, the starch that it will require to grow, it is going to grow beautifully, and that is the vegetative propagation for all of you guys. Yes, so reproduction of plant through its vegetative parts is called as vegetative reproduction. So what are the vegetative parts? So we have the xylem phloem. No. So what do we have exactly? Think about it. Now, this forms of asexual reproduction is only seen in plants but remain dormant in the parent cell till suitable conditions help the buds to grow into new plants. The vegetative parts can be nodes on the stem, roots, eye of the tuber, anything. In artificial methods, you also have tissue culture. As you can see, we have a agar medium, that is a nutrition medium that is available for the plants to grow in, but it is not natural nutrition. It is rather something that we have created in the lab. Yes. So over here you can see how the tube lights have been kept, and it starts germinating. It becomes into small plants. These plants are then transferred into a bottle. From the bottle, they are kept in the shade, kept in the sun, acclimatized, and then we get new plants, and finally they are shade treated and then put into new pots. Clear? So that is tissue culture for all of you. In tissue culture, we take just any cell, we make it into callus. If you're not injecting it with hormones, if you're injecting it with the hormones, it will automatically grow into shoot and root, so you don't have to worry about it. Yes. In artificial method, we also have methods like grafting and cutting and layering. So what happens in artificial methods? In artificial methods, you take a stalk. What is a stalk? You take one plant, okay, And the plant whose roots are connected to the soil is called as the stalk. Okay, you take another plant and cut it in a V shape at the bottom. Okay, does it have its own like root system where it can take water, give water? The answer is no, right? So over there you draw the V shape, and then the inverted V shape and the V shape are both inserted into each other. They just fit like a glove, and that is an example of artificial method. Sorry. We have another method, and that is you just cut diagonally. So you can see the scion. Scion is the one that does not have any roots. Stalk is the one that has roots. You just put them, piece of cloth, tissue paper, done and dusted. Yes. So that is it for today's session on asexual reproduction, guys. If you have any doubts, let me know. So if you have any doubts, please let me know in the chat section. So till then, I'll tell you some amazing things for both class 9 and class 10. So for class 10th, we have this amazing bullseye batch and the Big Bang Theory, which have just been started on 21st of February. And you know the best part, we are going to have that session today. Yes, and I am going to be taking it at 5 p.m. That too not in English, but in English, right? That is right. Absolutely, you heard me correct. Also, guys, you have an amazing opportunity of being a bounty hunter. Oh, sorry, that came out wrong. Actually, oh yes. So over here, it is an opportunity for all learners to report any inappropriate content that you see in the video. Yes, and if you have been claiming the issue for a particular thing, and you're the first one to do that, you will get a prize. That is absolutely correct. Also, if there's any content that you think is not going on with the entire theme, is not being something that is getting related with the topic that is being taught, so report any inappropriate content using the form in the description. Yes, you can do that. Also on Unacademy, we have Unacademy Plus and Unacademy Iconic subscriptions, guys. You heard me absolutely correct. Inside the white circle, you will see we have live classes and Dell's top educators, and you can decide who you want to learn from. We have weekly tests, structured courses, unlimited access, everything at your fingertips, right? Well, what happens on Iconic? In Iconic, you have your own personal guide. That is absolutely correct. You get guidance on top examinations, what to do, which stream to choose, can help you out in a lot of scenarios. Along with that, you get a study planner, which is a customized study plan according to your needs. It is given to you every 2 weeks. You have study material in the specialized form, right? And sets, experts guidance, and test analysis are all done by amazing experts that you can be a part of class of. Yes, over here you can see you can subscribe to 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. That, yes, you heard me absolutely correct, for both Plus and Iconic. And do not forget the referral code for the Educator, that is from me, is BBLive10. Yes, again over here you will see Iconic subscription, so it's available for you 3, 6 and 9 months. And again over here you can use the code BBLive10. Yes, why am I saying see, generally I would say 12 months, 24 months, right? You can do that, but you need to understand how much you understand of term 1, which subject are you going to take, right? And if you're aware about that, so do not worry. If you're buying 12 months of subscription or more, you're going to get 2 months of free extension absolutely for free. This is valid for first 500 subscribers, so make sure that you are one of them, right? And also don't forget to use the code BBLive10 for class 10 and 12 students. If you buy a subscription of 3 months only, you're going to get 1 month absolutely for free. And for that, all you have to do is use the code BBLive10. Yes. Along with that, we have Prodigy, the last part, coming out on the 7th of February from 12 to 1 p.m. The link is there in the description box below. Go and enroll, and do not forget to use the code BBLive10. That's right, you heard me absolutely correct. So thank you so much for coming in, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope I was I did justice to this. And do not forget to give this video a big fat thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and if you have enjoyed this session, do not forget to give this a big fat thumbs up, share, give it all the love in the world that you can. Yes, and also do not forget to use the code BB60 and BBLife10. Yes, sorry about that, BBLife10. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the session. See you tomorrow at 3:45 and on time. Yes, thank you so much, guys. Bye bye. You have been such an amazing audience, and thank you so much. Bye.